People always marvel at success stories. However, they rarely look behind the scene. All brilliant people we admire create their victories by practicing habits of effective thinking. We can also master it to create our success stories by knowing profound but straightforward steps. 1. Grounding your thinking, understanding deeply. Silas felt annoyed after seeing the red 58% on his test put by the professor in the exam. He reacted, "I knew the stuff on the test, really?" Such assertions do not end when we receive diplomas. Throughout life, we think we know more and deserve more than our yearly evaluations, salaries, and success seems to reflect. Instead of memorizing facts, Silas would have earned a higher grade if he invested the same amount of time mastering the fundamentals, identifying essential themes, attaching each idea to that core structure, and finally, imagining what surrounds or extends the material he was studying. There is an essential lesson in Silas's situation. When you learn something, firstly, make a solid foundation by mastering the fundamentals, ideas, and then go deep for linkages. How to master the fundamentals. Take a paper and write down specific components of the skill or subject area basic to that theme. For instance, let's take economics and list the primary components. Maximize profits, free markets, supply and demand, equilibrium of supply and demand. Then you can pick supply and demand. Spend 30 minutes actively improving your mastery of it. After improving the understanding of it, you can link it to other components. 2. Igniting insights through mistakes. Fail to succeed. In the 1970s, 3 guys saw the chance of analysing automobile traffic data by putting the pneumatic road tube counters to the road. They gave their new venture a catchy name, Trafo Data. They failed and closed the business. Through this failed business, these guys gained valuable and profound insights into computing machines. This time they launched another startup with the name of Microsoft. Paul Allen and Bill Gates had been able to exploit their failure. We always try to avoid making mistakes. This mindset is poisonous, often freezes us into inaction. If we accept that failure is a potent teacher and scheduled stop along the road to success, then we liberate ourselves to move forward in thinking too. In this regard, mistakes teach us what we should omit and what to keep to focus on to think effectively. On the other hand, mistake and failure are signs of the creative mind. Original thought. There is an excellent example of it. In Williams College, there is a course entitled Exploring Creativity. In this course, students are required to push themselves for uncomfortable intellectual challenges, and to succeed, students have to face these challenges without fear of failure. A student who is willing to fail is someone willing to think out of the box. As a result, willing to fail is a liberating attribute of transformative thinking. When you are stuck, you do not know what to do. Instead of doing nothing, fail. Keep in mind that a ship in port is safe, but that's not what ships are built for. Admiral Grace Murray Hooper. 3. Creating questions out of thin air. Be your own Socrates. Most people believe that progress is made by answering questions. However, they forget that asking questions is as essential as the answers. Unfortunately, every situation can provoke an endless list of questions. You can ask what if questions, for example. What if you could be in the situation of your father? Would you react in the same way? What if you could be older? Would you make this decision? Asking this way helps you to avoid bias, to identify errors and consider the alternatives. However, not all the questions are real questions. People sometimes may ask the wrong questions and ruin their life. They may pursue money, but in essence, they want to be happy. When you make a question, ask yourself, is it a real, effective question? For example, how can I be successful? Is vague, and until you define success, it is also an unanswerable one. It would help if you asked first what success means for you, then pose questions that lead to action. Effective question will enable you to explore deep core values, habits, and skills. 4. Seeking the flow of ideas. Look back and forwards. Illuminated light bulb signifies a creative idea in our modern world, but creative ideas never arise in a vacuum. They are built on the ideas of yesterday and illuminate the future bright ideas. Effective thinking is in the flow between the past and the future. Let's take calculus. When Newton and Leibniz independently discovered it, its elements had already been revealed by previous thinkers. Even Newton himself acknowledged that, if I have seen farther than others, it is because I have stood on the shoulders of giants. During the past 300 years, calculus has been applied to mechanics, to the planet's motion, electricity and magnetism, and numerous other areas, and will pave the way for other discoveries too. If we want to think effectively, we should see the subject as connected ideas, perspectives back and forth. 5. Engaging change. Transform yourself. The fifth element of effective thinking is the simplest, but the most difficult one. The past 4 elements are essential, but way less important if you are not willing to change. Those 4 elements are like the instructions in a diet book. If you eat this, do not eat these, and exercise in this way, you will lose weight. But the most challenging part is following the instructions. As an example, Lee wants to get in better shape. Instead of taking the miracle diet, she began to make a slight change by eating healthy foods and to climb the stairs instead of riding the elevator. Similarly, we should also adopt the elements of effective thinking as part of your daily life.